No one likes to see lumps on the backs of their legs. The good news? MELT helps reduce the appearance of cellulite without any negative side effects. The results are undeniable. This map will help you release the tension and compression that causes cellulite to appear in the first place and restore fascia's supportive qualities. Enjoy and happy melting. Let's begin our map with the basic rest assess. I want you to lie on your back with your palms faced up and your arms and legs extended. Feel free to close your eyes and use your body sense to scan your masses and spaces for stuck stress. Remember, there's 4 common imbalances that many of us possess that are left unaddressed from day to day, and these are the 4 that end up compressing our neck and low back unnecessarily and destabilize our core. So remember, if you lie on your back and you feel all your weight's at your shoulder girdle, your mid-back is arched off the floor, your tailbone is more weighted than butt cheeks, or the backs of your thighs feel off the floor, you should spend some time melting to restore the natural balance of your body. So I want you to try to identify one more thing, which is called autopilot inefficiency. Divide yourself into a left and a right half and scan your body from ear to heel. If you would swear that one entire side of your body feels more weighted to the ground or one leg feels longer, you've identified stuck stress in the autopilot causing interference in its ability to keep you balanced and stable. Take a nice focused breath, and when you're ready, let's try back of thigh passive shear. Now this is a great one for anybody to do, whether you're sitting at a desk all day long or you're an elite athlete playing sports and training all day. You want to bring the roller as high up onto the back of your legs as you can, keep your back relaxed, straighten out your legs, and begin to just open and close your legs. Keep your heels nice and low to the floor. In fact, they can just drag on the ground. Now, you might feel like I'm asking you to rub your legs against the roller, but remember, shearing is a twisting effect. So if you want, take your left leg and let it relax and just work on your right leg, twisting the flesh, grabbing the inner thigh flesh, and then turning your leg outward. So the more you create more of a twisting action as you create the movement, the bigger the fluid exchange will be. Let the right leg relax and try it on the left side, a slow movement, twisting the flesh back and forth. So this is an area that's loaded with stuck stress because we compress it all day long, most of us because we sit for long periods of time. So this is a great way to restore the fluid flow. Bring those legs back to the center and just wait there for a second. Give the tissue a moment to adapt. Take your hands on the roller and push the roller into the middle of your thighs and start all over again. And you pick. You could either go both legs at the same time, or if you want, get a little bit more precise and try one leg at a time. Now this is also an area that has another unsightly thing called cellulite. And cellulite is really nothing more than connective tissue and fat kind of getting tied together because of cellular dehydration. That fascial anatomy is kind of poking through your skin. Try it on the other leg if you're working on one side at a time. But this is a great thing to do because cellulite is actually a connective tissue issue, not so much a fat issue. So to restore the plumpness and the firmness of our collagen in the fascia is really an easy thing to do. It's just a nice, gentle twisting action, gentle and passive. You don't need to hurt yourself to eliminate cellulite. Then bring your legs back to a center point. Wait there for a second. Give the tissue a moment to adapt. And now let's move the roller just above the knees. Remember, one of the methods of melting, we never melt the spaces. So just above the knees, again, you can go with both legs at the same time or work one leg at a time. Whatever feels good for you is what I want you to do. But remember, the secret of shearing is to stay as relaxed as you can. So try not to tense up your thighs or your butt cheeks as you do this move. If you're working one leg at a time, try the other side. So this twisting action is really what creates that fluid flow exchange and helps the collagen bindings recreate their integrity. This can really smooth out your backside. Come back to a center point and let's just wait there for a second. Give the tissue a moment to adapt. Let's begin our sequence by placing the roller under our pelvis. Remember, you're going to find your core, lift up your hips, and bring the roller under the back of the pelvis. Now remember, to ensure that you have the roller in the right place, if you place your hands on the top of your hip bones, I always say it's kind of like you have a New York City attitude, that part of your hips are not on the roller. Another way to tell is if you bring your right and left knee into your chest, that the roller doesn't feel like it's going to slip out from underneath you. So it's in the wide, firm part of the back of your pelvis. Place your hands along the sides of the pelvis and just slowly begin to tip your knees a little right and left. Notice how we keep our heels slack to our butt cheeks with the knees just slightly angled towards our side of the roller. This way we can create the SI joint shear. So I want you to slowly tip your knees to the right and keep just that slight angle and begin to make small circles with both of your legs. So the SI joint is that small, thin joint that creates a small space between our tailbone and our pelvis. And for a lot of us, this is out of balance. Another way to create the shear is to keep your legs on the angle, keep your left leg still, and just circle the right leg. Now, very similar to upper body length moves, you don't want to hear any clicking, cracking, popping, or snapping in the hip joint. So if you do, slow down and make the movement smaller and slower. You can also bring both legs together and just slowly march your knees forward and back. This is another way to create a little fluid flow exchange right along that small but very important joint and the back of our pelvis. Then bring your legs back together, take a nice focused breath, and then slowly tip your knees slightly off to the left side and repeat the same small circles. Now it doesn't matter which way you make the circles, I just want you to make sure that you're differentiating the motion. So try to keep your ribs from moving as you move your legs. Keep your core in your mind as being focused and controlled so that the circles stay nice and stable around the hips. You can also, again, try the one leg circling on the left side. Remember that you're going to start with a small circle and you can slowly make it bigger, but don't feel any clicking or popping in the hip. Don't create any kind of negative effect of these types of shear forces. The third way to go is to march your knees forward and back. This is the easiest way to go, and if you're new to this, this is the easiest one to try. Keep your legs slightly tipped to that side and take a focused breath. Then bring your legs back to the center, and I want you to slowly bring your legs back down to the floor. Let's try a modified tuck and tilt. Remember, when you tuck, you don't want to push into your feet or squeeze your butt cheeks. And when you tilt, you don't want your ribs to come with you. So if you need to, you could always place your hands on your ribs and just make sure that you remember tucking is elongating the low back. Tilting is actively increasing the weight of the pelvis onto the top of the roller. So one more time, tuck your pelvis under to elongate your low back, and then untuck back to the tilt. Remember, the tilt lands the pelvis to the top of the roller. Now keep that, and let's try hip to heel press. Nancy is going to use the resistant band, and watch how she places it along her foot. And this is going to help her to perfect the move. Dan and I will do it in real time. You ready, Dan? So we're going to bring that right leg up, and we're going to slowly extend our leg out. Now you want to start low so that you're ensuring that your knee is straight. That's really the secret of perfecting this move. Flex your ankle, keep your pelvis tilted, and slowly bring your leg up. And you want to stop before your leg gets perpendicular or your knee thinks it wants to bend. Keep that leg straight. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, flex your foot and actively sink the back of the pelvis to the top of the roller. Then slowly externally rotate the leg for hip to heel rotate. And notice how the tensional pull goes more to the side of the leg. Take another breath in, and on an exhale, let's try hip to heel cross, slowly bringing the leg across the midline. Notice how my left leg is also coming across the midline. You take a breath in, and on an exhale, flex your foot. Kind of think about your pinky toe going towards your knee as you tilt your pelvis, and then come back to the center, and then let that leg go. Let's try that on the other side. So same thing, we'll bring our leg up, and literally like you're trying to kick the leg out at the hip and the knee so that the whole leg is straight. Make sure that the leg starts straight. Flex your foot, keep your pelvis in the tilt, and slowly bring your leg up. And remember, stop before your knee bends or you get to perpendicular. You want to find the best tensional position to create the biggest effect. Flex your ankle. On an exhale, sink the back of your pelvis into the tilt onto the top of the roller. Then let's add hip to heel rotate, rotating the leg externally so that you get the tension more to the IT band inside of the leg. Then hip to heel cross, bringing the leg across the midline, taking a breath in, and on an exhale, flex your foot, tilting the pelvis to the top of the roller. Bring the leg back to the center, and slowly bring your foot back down to the ground. I know that those can be really intense, but those three together can really make some great exchanges in the hips and really restore hip stability. Bring your right and left knee into your chest. Now let's try a tuck and tilt challenge. Place your hands on the fronts of your thighs and push your thighs away from you until your elbows are straight.
Once you're here, take a breath in, and on an exhale, find your core and gently press your thighs into your hands. That should give you an engagement of the rooted and reflexive core system. So you really feel an engagement in the abdomen. Once you're there, take a breath in and subtly tuck your pelvis towards your side of the roller, and without moving your ribs, untuck your pelvis back to the tilt with your thighs still pressing into your hands. Let's try this 3 times. Exhaling, tucking your pelvis under, tilting away. Take another breath in. On an exhale, tuck, and then tilt. So it doesn't have to be a huge pressure, but constant. Exhaling and tucking, and then tilting. Sustain your tilt, and let's try the low back release. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, if you need to, make your sound to find your core, and then slowly press your thighs to your hands, ribs to the floor, pelvis on the top of the roller in the tilt. Inhale, ease back pressure. And one more time, exhale, press your thighs to your hands, ribs to the floor, pelvis to the top of the roller. Let's try the core challenge. Take your right hand and cross it over your left thigh. Gently press your left thigh into your left hand. Take a focused breath. On an exhale, find your core and slowly let your right leg lower down until it hovers over the floor. Pause here, kind of like that same move that we did with a single leg lift. You're going to pause here, take a breath in, and on the exhale, slowly bring that leg back up. Let's try it on the other side. Right thigh, right hand together, take a breath in. On an exhale, let your left leg lower halfway down to the floor, kind of hovers over there. Wait with that staggered leg position. Take another breath in. On your exhale, find your core again, and bring the leg back up. Let's try it again. Right thigh, right hand, left hand together. Right leg comes all the way back down, hovering over the floor. Pause. Take another breath in. And on an exhale, slowly bring the leg back up. And let's try it one more time. Right thigh, right hand together. On an exhale, let your left leg lower halfway down to the floor. Pause. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, slowly bring that leg back up. That's great. Bring your knees into your chest and slowly roll the roller out from underneath your pelvis. Lie flat on your back, palms faced up, arms and legs extended, and let's reassess. Tune into your masses and spaces and notice what that sequence did. Now at the beginning, when we started, remember we pointed out some common imbalances and we just tried to release some good hydration back to the pelvis. If at the beginning you were feeling a lot of tailbone on the ground, notice if your butt cheeks are more settled to the floor or if the back of the thighs have come to the ground. Those are great direct techniques and that's a great way to restore some fluid flow back to the pelvis. But you might also notice that that big arch in your back is much less. If you've really released your own low back, you'll feel a more small, distinctive space closer to the pelvis rather than under the ribs. How do you guys feel with this one? Did you make some changes, Dan? I love that. Now you might also notice that your upper back weight is also more relaxed. And what's crazy about the lower body sequence, slowly turn your head left and right. Even though we didn't do anything to your upper body, you might notice that by releasing fluid flow to your torso, your neck has freed up in its range. Maybe you've decreased pain or your shoulders are more relaxed. Also divide yourself into a left and a right half. By restoring some stability to your pelvis and reacquiring some connection for our center of gravity, your autopilot might also feel like it's gone back into balance. So if you feel like you're more balanced from left to right, you've done a great job with this sequence. Well done.